Good evening. We begin tonight with the NHL trade landscape, as the league's roster freeze expires in 4 days, lifting at midnight on February 23rd. As teams prepare for the stretch run and the trade deadline approaches, activity and speculation are beginning to intensify across the league. Meanwhile, international hockey continues to deliver on the big stage. Canada advanced in dramatic fashion, thanks to an overtime winner from Mitch Marner, a goal that silenced critics and capped off a tense, playoff-style matchup. Marner, Nick Suzuki, and goaltender Jordan Binnington were instrumental in the final 10 minutes and beyond. Binnington once again proved reliable under pressure, Suzuki controlled the decisive sequence in the offensive zone, and Marner finished it with a perfectly placed backhand. The win highlighted just how high the stakes have become at this tournament. With every game tightly contested, the intensity has been undeniable, reinforcing just how much fans have missed best-on-best international competition. However, Canada now faces uncertainty surrounding Sidney Crosby, who exited the game with an injury. Team officials say his status will be evaluated day to day. While there is optimism he could return quickly, any decision will prioritize long-term health. Still, if Canada reaches the gold medal game, Crosby's presence, at least in some capacity, remains a strong possibility. That injury also places renewed focus on Pittsburgh Penguins center Yevgeny Malkin, whose contract expires at season's end. Malkin is enjoying a strong campaign with 44 points in 41 games and has made it clear he would like to remain in Pittsburgh. Discussions between the Penguins and Malkin's camp are expected during the coming days. While an immediate extension is not guaranteed, both sides are open to finding common ground, either now or later in the offseason. Turning to the NHL impact of international play, Los Angeles Kings forward Kevin Fiala is done for the season following an injury suffered while representing Switzerland. The Kings were already exploring forward upgrades before the injury, and this development only increases the urgency. With cap flexibility available, Los Angeles is expected to pursue at least one additional scoring winger, and potentially more, as management looks to bolster a forward group that still lacks center depth. As the trade deadline approaches, several teams are firmly on watch. Tampa Bay continues to explore defensive upgrades, particularly on the right side of the blue line. With Victor Hedman dealing with another injury setback, the Lightning are expected to prioritize players who can help both now and beyond this season. Detroit is also active, evaluating options to improve both defensively and offensively as they attempt to solidify their playoff position. And in the West, Dallas remains a team to monitor. Despite significant cap flexibility, the Stars have yet to make a move. History suggests that could change quickly, as management continues internal evaluations and trade discussions behind the scenes. In Buffalo, attention remains fixed on Alex Tuch. Contract talks have not progressed significantly, but communication remains open. With the Sabres currently holding a playoff spot, the organization is leaning toward keeping Tuch, even without an extension, in hopes of making a postseason push. A trade remains unlikely unless Buffalo is overwhelmed by an offer. Finally, league executives are increasingly preparing for a market that lacks high-end rental players. That reality could force teams to become more aggressive and more creative. Names not previously considered available may suddenly come into play if offers rise. In St. Louis, Jordan Kyrou remains a player of interest league-wide. While not officially on the market, multiple teams are monitoring the situation closely, and a change of scenery remains a distinct possibility either before the deadline or during the offseason. As for the international stage, expectations remain high for a Canada versus United States gold medal matchup on the men's side, with odds strongly favoring that outcome. With the roster freeze nearing its end, trade talks accelerating, and international drama unfolding, the hockey world is entering one of its most compelling stretches of the season. That's the latest from around the NHL. Stay with us for continued coverage as the race to the trade deadline heats up.